What is good, guys? We're back with another reaction video. We're reacting to a video titled The Witcher 3 DLC Big Reveal. So we've got even more news now, guys. So like, comment, subscribe, share the video.
The Witcher 3 DLC just got a massive update. The rumors of a final expansion have officially reached a boiling point. We just got a definitive answer from one of the most reliable insiders in the gaming industry regarding whether or not a new DLC is real. And let's just say I was pretty hyped when I saw this news. And honestly, just overall, the details surrounding this expansion have me so excited. My mind has been seriously racing from like the initial rumors of the DLC happening to the rumors that we're going to Zerrikania to now insiders saying that we're actually going back to Velen and the surrounding areas. From what it sounds like, this new DLC / expansion is going to have serious implications on the canon ending of The Witcher 3. So we're going to talk about all of that and more. Hit the sub button if you're excited for
Really? It's going to affect the canon ending?
this new Witcher 3 content, and let's dive in. Okay, so if you've been watching my Witcher 3 videos and watching the channel for a while, you know that I have been a living resident in Arkham Asylum talking about conspiracy theories, hoping and praying to Stormfather that The Witcher 3 was getting one last ride. But today we can finally step out of the shadows because insider Nate the Hate has just confirmed the existence of this DLC. Now, if you follow the industry, you know that Nate the Hate is a highly reliable source. Like, this guy literally just leaked the brand new Santa Monica Studios game that is featuring Faye, apparently. This guy is like the god tier leaker. He's #1. There's nobody better than him besides like maybe Jason Schreier. But typically whenever Nate the Hate speaks, we all listen. I'm here. I got my clown makeup on. Give me those sweet little lies, Nate the Hate. According to his latest statements, the rumor is absolutely real and a brand new expansion or DLC for The Witcher 3 is indeed happening. When somebody asked the question, does the DLC for The Witcher 3 exist? He said it does. Now, obviously this isn't 100% definitive proof, but he did say that the DLC exists. It could mean that, it existed at some point and just not right now. We don't know for certain unless CDPR officially confirms it or GOG Galaxy just starts downloading the update randomly. But then there's also the reality that if it was like canceled or something like that, Nate the Hate probably wouldn't like risk his reputation at this point in the game just to say that it exists, but it's not actually happening. At the end of the day, this dude prides himself on having verifiable information, that he's got like his direct industry sources. Usually whenever he runs on something, like I said, it's legitimate. Now, if you guys watched my last video, you know I spoke about the massive rumors floating around that the new DLC is going to take place in Velen rather than the previously rumored deserts of Zerrikania. Now, I know whenever you first hear about, us going back to Velen, it might sound like a little bit of a bad decision. Like, why would they do that? They're just, cheaping out. But when you hear about the story implications we're going to get into, like, it just gets me so excited. But it is undeniable that Velen is one of the most atmospheric, but it's also depressing. It's, no man's land for a reason. But you can't deny, like,
yeah, I would prefer them to be in, like, I don't know, maybe Novigrad, maybe, I don't know, but Velen? Hey, let's see though. I mean, let's see.
the times of, exploring Velen, dealing with the Bloody Baron, dealing with all of the monsters and creatures while you're trying to wade through the muck of, Crookback Bog. Like, I won't lie, it is certified nightmare fuel, but that right there is The Witcher. Those are the vibes that I love the most. But also the canon ending story implications are real. Like, the reality is this is a good place to go to clean up some unfinished business. And this brings us to one of the biggest theories that had the community on fire a few years ago, and it involves the last remaining crone.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
One that is still alive. If you guys haven't played The Witcher 3 and you haven't like beat it fully, first and foremost, that is hurtful. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you need to go beat The Witcher 3, beat it multiple times, get yourself prepped for this DLC to launch, and skip to another chapter in this video to not get any spoilers. Okay, so for all of the Giga Chads out there that have played The Witcher 3 and beat it multiple times, we have to talk about the implications of actually going back to Velen. Okay, so for those of you that understand the worst ending of the game, the bad ending, Ciri is dead. We watched her step into the White Frost, and then Geralt then goes to confront the last remaining and living crone, Weaves. Now, in the background of the crone's hut, the Weaves is actively working on a tapestry, which the tapestry clearly depicts the exact tower in Skellige where Ciri confronted the White Frost. Now, on the tapestry, right above the tower, you can see a bird flying away, which the current theory is that this bird flying away is actually a representation of Ciri. And the theory is that it's not just any bird, it is a swallow. And if you translate Ciri's elven name, that translates to swallow, which the swallow is a universal symbol for rebirth, hope, and spring. And this implies that the Wevis actually glimpsed Ciri's fate and realized that she survived the White Frost, essentially meaning that Ciri didn't die in the tower. Now, knowing that Ciri is alive in every single timeline, even the worst possible ending, opens her up easily for the future of the franchise. It means that CD Projekt Red doesn't have to jump through massive narrative hoops to explain her presence going forward. Now, this ties perfectly into the rumors of a Velen-based DLC focused on hunting down the final last remaining Wevis. And the reason this makes sense is because if you actually look at the dialogue from the base game, when Geralt was speaking with the Crones, he said this, and I quote, "She escaped you, but I'll find her and we will come back here together and kill you." Now that right there is not just a throwaway line of dialogue, it is a blood oath. Like, we're talking this dude is going to come back regardless, and he did at the very end. But this final story expansion could be about fulfilling that exact same promise. And it also answers one of the community's biggest questions regarding the timeline. And if they decide to go that route, it also tells us that the DLC will likely take place after the events of the main game, serving as a definitive epilogue, or at the very least, this adds just another ending to the game. Returning to Velen to defeat the last remaining Crone alongside Ciri is the ultimate payoff. And CDPR, Fool's Theory, if you're listening, make it happen, dude. I would love to see that. Now, it is a rumored $30 experience that we're getting, so they're gonna have to do a lot more than just like...
Yeah, $30, you better... I don't know, how many hours do we think, guys? How many hours do we think it should be at $30 or £30? I'm in the UK. Honestly, like, at least like, I don't know, like 3+ hours. Is 3+ hours the right mark for it? £30, 3+ hours. Is it greedy to say I would prefer at least 5+ hours? Is that too much to ask for? You guys let me know what you think in the comments, but it has to be a good story, a very good, for £30. I know prices have gone up in gaming, right? And I know like £30 is like maybe the new £50 these days. I don't know, but come on.
Doing that type of story, but adding another ending that, you know, gives us that final hoorah together would be pretty awesome. I also think focusing the story on this specific narrative thread is a great way to set up the foundation for The Witcher 4. We know that CDPR is building an entirely new saga, and while Geralt might not be the central protagonist anymore, his legacy is going to cast a massive shadow over everything that follows. So by them, you know, establishing Ciri's survival as an undeniable fact across the board allows the developers to seamlessly transition the, you know, narrative focus away from Geralt onto the wider world of Witchers. And I think this bridge has to be one that keeps the community engaged. It reminds everyone why we fell in love with this franchise in the first place. And it is one that like passes the torch, not only just in a great way, but also it respects what they've done in the past. Okay, shifting gears from the narrative side to the business side, we have to talk about the hardware timing, because it all...
Honestly, it's just one thing. I feel like with The Witcher, I definitely feel like what they should do with Witcher 4 is, you know, obviously Ciri main characters, obviously just have Geralt be there. I don't know, kind of like how, I forgot his name, but the guy that was with Geralt at the start, I'm so sorry, I'm so bad with names, but maybe have Geralt be there at the start, or just have him make an appearance. And I feel like people would be happy with that.
Makes like way too much sense. The Nintendo Switch 2 is out and it is selling pretty well. And let's be real, if you played The Witcher 3 over on the Nintendo Switch, I actually played both Blood and Wine and the base game on it, and it was pretty rough. Like, I think we can all agree The Witcher 3 doesn't play the greatest on that console. However, the fact that they, you know, got it to run in the first place is a miracle, but it also sold really well. So I think them releasing a Nintendo Switch 2 version of The Witcher 3 is only gonna sell like hotcakes. Like, if you give me an optimized version of this game on the Switch 2, like, I will literally buy whatever you want me to buy. Heck, you want me to buy an Ultimate Edition? You want me to buy new DLC for the thing? Just let me know, because I will gladly print money for you. And I think the same can be said to a lot of other Switch 2 owners. Like, it is a guaranteed revenue stream that if they want to hit their numbers and get those, like, corpo executive bonuses, that's a good way to do it. So I think them bringing this new DLC alongside a Switch 2 version of The Witcher 3 is just super easy. If they like money, which I know they do, 2, I think it's pretty obvious that they will give us a Switch 2 version of the game, and I have a feeling that it will also launch alongside this new DLC. But now let's take a step back and kind of play devil's advocate for a little bit. Even if you want to be completely skeptical and assume that everything Nate the Hate has said is entirely false, we still have undeniable proof that the game is not dead forever. CD Projekt Red has confirmed that we are getting a massive console mod update, one that I thought was supposed to come out last year, but now it's not even out still. So at the very least, like, we know for an absolute fact that we are getting one final update to the game that is set to bring console mods. So at the very bare minimum, we should expect one, you know, major patch left. So yeah, that should be good if you're like not willing to believe this DLC news like at all. At least we're getting an update soon. At least we all hope. So now the ultimate question still remains, when are we actually going to get the official reveal for this new DLC or expansion? I don't know what it is. We have no idea still. In my opinion, the timeline is actually pretty straightforward. Now, I think the smart thing for them to do is to give us like some news about it in the investor call late March. However, if we don't hear anything about the game by the end of March, then I fully expect them to hold on to it for a massive summer game showcase. So either the Xbox game showcase or perhaps like the summer, you know, game fest with Jeff Keighley. But if they do that, then that's around June time, and the current rumors say that it's going to release this May. So that tells me if we don't get anything in March and we have to wait until like June for a showcase, I think they might just end up shadow dropping it, which would be absolute cinema. But that is the reality of the situation. The insiders are doubling down. Nate the Hate said it's real. I trust him. And the idea of returning back to Velen for one last hunt alongside Ciri is everything I could possibly want from a final expansion. I know I'm going to be there day one, so let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section.
Yeah, yeah, pretty good. A little bit of new information there. Look, I probably won't react to another Witcher video until like we get like a proper announcement, but you guys let me know what you think. I'm obviously excited. And yeah, and thanks for watching, guys, and peace. I'm out.